Hey there, everybody. Well, it's been a long time, that's for sure, and I really hope 2026 has treated you all really well. I know I hadn't made any video at all. It says it's been about 9 months, and so I want to welcome you if you're just found me, or welcome back if you stuck with me, and I appreciate it if you did. It looks like I didn't lose anybody that I can tell, so that's really good. Um, and I want to do this little update in the beginning here to say that I really would be doing more videos than I could have at the time, but um, I'm trying to make this as concise as I possibly can. But basically, from that month, so it was November last year when I did the last video on the fountain pens, um, it just began a time of loss for me, unfortunately. I'll try and make it short, but lost my childhood cat um, fairly soon after that last video, um, and then I lost my dog, my childhood dog, after that. But they both lived very good life, and you can even go back and see their videos. Um, Ava Norris and Fluffy Norris on there. Well, I don't remember if I titled it Fluffy Pumpkin because he had two names, but anyway. But and then Fluffy lived to be 17, so you can't argue with them having a pretty good life, and then so that was that part, and the different things, and how I went and saw my mom for my birthday, and my mom would also go on to move to Florida. A little bit after that, she moved in October, and so it's just a lot to try to do that and be working at the same time. About 2 or 3 days ago, I just hit my 1 year anniversary at work, so that was really good. And then but recently, the other reason I wanted to video for a while now, but um, my coworkers are younger and they went back to school, so they changed my schedule and had me work morning, and then I'd have to um, no, I'm sorry, I would work a whole night, and then they say, well, can you work in the morning? So, doing that, but I like it enough. I mean, I can appreciate it enough that, you know, I'm doing work that doesn't feel like work, so I'm really pleased that I found that, and then the last part that was the toughest um, was right after my birthday, and I got back and I made that post, and 2 weeks after that, I lost my grandma, no, my last grandparent. So everything was a little bit rough, but you don't have to feel sorry. It was just what life threw at me. But for today's, well, it's tonight, but today's one, I wanted to share with you these. I've been wanting to share these for a long time, and I thought this is a good opportunity because we have thunderstorm, and I wanted to video a vacuum, but nice old vacuum, but if you plug it in with this terrible electrical going on, I don't want to fool with that, as you can understand. But these I thought would be really interesting, and it veers away from the fountain pen, so I think that I'm hoping you all find it pretty neat. So I've got these are mainly Hoover advertisements is what I have for you, but I have one that is it's sort of in the middle, and but a very important ad. I think it's my favorite one, which is this one. But in any case, we'll go in with it. I decide I'm going to try to uh, do this in one go. I wanted to use my tripod, but then I'd have to edit the video, and I don't mind to do so, but a weeknight, and I don't know if my phone has the room for it. But in any case, so I tried to put these in sort of chronological order, but we'll see how I can go with it. And also, another good point I want to make is I have all of these pieces except for 3 of them over here, which are manuals, not ads, but they're manuals, are original print. So that was something I was looking for when I first wanted to collect these. I think I was about about maybe 6 years ago. I was like, I want to purchase a few advertisements, go with the vacuums. But anyway, so this first one is the oldest advert I have in the whole collection here. This is a 1911 advertisement for the Hoover, but when I first got it, I wasn't certain if it was for a Hoover Model O or not. I thought that it was when I first got it, but it actually, I went back and looked and saw that in this, I don't know how well you can see it, but you could see the top of this motor cover, the motor hood rather, is sort of a darker color, so it's almost black. And this being from about 1911 would mean that this is actually an ad for the Hoover Model 3 and not the Model O. But still, I just found that out today, so, but still, I really thought this was an interesting one. It also, it has a saying that whether the nap of your carpet is crushed like this or it stands up like this, that it would depends upon the air cleaner you use. But I always found it interesting that no one said vacuuming yet. It's just the air cleaner. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then it says this Hoover combines a revolving soft hair brush with the powerful air suction. And this is interesting. I just noticed. They say down in the bottom of this, it says it airs, shakes, sweeps, and suction cleans. This before they came out with the Beats as it sweeps, because that would be later when they would introduce the beater bar. Not 100% sure what year that would be, but it was probably later on. Not much later, I would think. But anyhow, but really interesting one. I think this was I can't remember where I bought this one. It's probably, believe it or not, there's people collecting these on Amazon. That's actually where I got them. Different thing here. They're my other ads I'm about to get into are from the period paper, Weeder and original antique and fine prints, and these others have serial numbers, but that's later on. And it also talks about how the even though this is only like the second Hoover model, that it has the different attachments, and it mentions that, and it says you can air clean hangings, curtains, walls, upholstered furniture, and or blowing up pillows and mattresses. So I didn't know about that they would have that, but I'm assuming that the hose would go into the rear and it blow in that manner. But yeah, this was one of the first ones I got too. And it's also said, simply attach cord to the electric light socket and the Hoover is ready, and it moves with the natural force of walking. But anyhow, that was something that made me want to get this, is because of how, all that time ago, you only had your light socket for your electrical lead. So it's just really interesting to me. I don't know when headlights came out, but I'm sure that was out of it. That's what I heard years ago, was that the vacuum headlight was because you had to unscrew your light bulb. And it says write to a Hoover dealer near you who can clean one room for you for free and tell you about the guarantee bond. and they will send you a free illustrated Hoover book. And it also says Oriental rugs. The nap is raised while the fabric is being cleaned and laid back down to its original position, and the Hoover is the only air cleaner that thus restores the nap of your rugs. So anyway, that was my first and oldest advertisement. But this one, it's different. It's not for Hoover, but this is for the AirWay. And it's from the Ladies' Home Journal. The issue is from February of 1920. And I was so glad to get this, because this is the machine that I've always thought, like, just like they say in the collectors, 50 years ahead of its time, for sure. And because you can get suction up through the handle, and you can pick it up and use it, or as it shows down there, you twist the dial around and you get suction on the floor. And it also had now it's virtually impossible to get one with both wheels on it now, which I can vouch for. I have what do I have? Do I have 2 or 3 where I'm trying to build one working AirWay out of them, just because you obviously can't get anything, and I'm trying to see if I can make one working nozzle, hopefully. But that's time will tell on that. And but I love this. Use it either way. And this AirWay cleaner is so light that a child can carry and operate it. And I can say it's only about as heavy as an Oric, like an Oric Classic or something. When I got the chance to try that at the museum, just fantastic little vacuum. And then and it said that cleans the places only a dust cloth can reach, because you also get a hose, and you get a thing with the mothballs that you can use, and you suck the mothballs through it, goes through the fan, and then you can fog the closet, and then it will prevent the moths in there, which is just fascinating. You can even fluff a pillow up with it. I mean, you're spending a ton of money on one of these back then. I don't know, probably $1,000 or something in today's money, certainly, but it does everything. And yeah, also the first vacuum ever to have a paper bag, and you can always go back. I really encourage you to go to my channel, go to oldest, and you can watch Mr. Gasco talk about this. It's just phenomenal. And talking about, I thought the most fascinating thing was that the man that invented the machine, he had to invent a paper making machine to make the paper bag. So just fascinating. And it says AirWay is the quick and easy way to free yourself from the burden of house cleaning, from a different way from any other you've ever seen demonstrated. And yeah, I think that's most everything. One I'll say before I put this one away is that they talked about the swivel neck down here. And I thought that what they said was interesting. The AirWay universal joint is a variable human wrist, as we call it. Gets under couches, tables, chairs, and you can lay that vacuum totally flat. It's just incredible. It goes as flat as modern Dyson stick vacuum. So anyway, so that's about the AirWay. It's one of my favorite advertisements in this whole pile. I do have another Hoover ad from the 40s that I was going to show, but unfortunately, now that came from eBay from a newspaper, and unfortunately they shipped it to me and it was just all wadded up, and that was sad. I don't think I paid much for it, thankfully, but in anything, this one is from 1929, and it is, I don't know what model it's advertising. But it's advertising one of the coffee can models. I'm assuming it's probably one of the model, like, I don't know, it looks like a Mall 700 to me in the advert, but anyway, it's kind of neat one. It's Am I the Woman of a Year Ago? And let's see. I was the woman whose youth was slipping from her too fast, the woman whose cleaning burdens were too heavy, the woman who wanted but could not ask for a Hoover. I'm not the woman of a year ago. In one short year, I've discovered that youth need not go swiftly, that cleaning duties need not be burdensome. For last Christmas, my husband did give me the Hoover. And it's, of course, it's, you give her a Hoover and you give her the best. Not much to this one, except I can tell you about it from here. It's from it's from Good Housekeeping. And, let's see, from Good Housekeeping, archived December 5th of 2017. That's about when I was getting these ads, so. Anyhow, so that's that one. I think I may just spend this video on these. I could do a different video on that, perhaps, but I'll show at least one manual. This one is here, and this one is from September 23rd of 1940. And it's for the Mall 305, as you can see, maybe. It was $52 back then, so I don't know what that would be now, but definitely a lot of money now. And it says, the proudest, most satisfied moment of your housekeeping year comes on that autumn afternoon when every clean, dusted book is back on the shelf. The last picture is hung, and you can look about and say, my house is finally clean. And, let's see. It's the pleasure in doing work well, we believe, that has led to close to 6 million women to buy Hoovers. So already in 1940, that many had bought one. And Hoover does its cleaning any day in the year on the house cleaning principle. It gets, there we go, that's what I was saying, is it gets to the bottom of the dirt. In rugs where 85% or more of the dirt may collect, Hoover goes first for the heavy, damaging grit at the bottom. With the air cushion vibration, lifting the rug on a cushion of air spreads open the pile, dislodging the grit and flutters it to the surface. Our exclusive patent process, supplemented by the usual suction and sweeping, gives a fresh look to colors and saves the fabric too. And then they mentioned the attachment set right here. And it's dusting brush, upholstery tool, floor tool, and crevice tool. And for lampshades and books, we have a soft brush. For upholstery and curtains, a stiff brush. Chair crevices and small crannies, a flat tool, but it's basically a crevice tool. I have them all 305. I want to show one day, but which is why I have the manual for it, which is here. I assume it's original. The vacuum was restored, but it was with its original things, except for the tools. But when I got my Mall 27, I got a full set of tools, and that's what these tools are. And anyhow, there's a lot of things, I don't know if I say, but there's a lot of things I don't have at the house here, and need to move things some and decide what I want to show or whatever. Let's see, what else is in this? I think that's basically that. And air step shoes on the other side. And let's see, this is one that goes with the vacuum. I do have, like that one does. This is for the Model 27, which this one came from 1945. And this is, it's that time again, too, for give her a Hoover and give her the best. And it says, this is the one thing I just found always so fascinating and really just different, is all those years ago, you'd think that they wouldn't be worried about what their use of, you know, how everyone these days is wanting to be sure they have someone's pronouns right. Well, this has, we say, it's right here. We say, give her, him, or them a victory bond, and you give them the best. I'm just making sure you see that I'm not making up stuff, and that this is an original print, so pretty interesting, you know. Let's see. Yeah, the new Hoover Cleaner Model 27 is now being produced and sold. So it was the first Hoover post-war era, and first Christmas in 4 years that Hoovers have been made, because they would stop at the Model 305 and you know, we go war. And then when we're back, when this came out, if the woman in your life really needs a new Hoover in her life, what better time than this Christmas of peace to present it to her? Oops, sorry. So, and the symbolic bird that sells them is the dove of peace instead of the eagle of war. And then this one is Model 61, I think it is, in this ad. I don't have any information. This just leads to the eBay seller, so I don't have any more information on this, but I'm assuming this is about a 1946, 47, perhaps a 1948. I don't know when they weren't making this Model 61. But, and this one's out of Good Housekeeping, though, I believe. It's, no, it's Better Homes and Gardens, is what this is. And it says, have you done your room over recently? No, I just run over it with my Hoover regularly. And, did you know Hoover Service has genuine Hoover parts for all Hoover cleaners made within the last 25 years? The beauty of the nationwide Hoover service these days is that it keeps even elderly Hoovers rolling, and definitely does. My oldest running Hoover, well, my oldest Hoover that I still use, and I need to video it. Luckily I have it here, and I'll show it one day in distant future, is a Model 825, and it still is going very well. But anyway, and keeps the color fresh, keeps you fresh too. Let Hoover service your cleaner. We will clean and lubricate motor with new carbon brushes. Agitator and brush roll cleaned and lubricated. Belt replaced. Bag renovated. Cord and switch completely checked. And will improve the appearance and the cleaning efficiency. So that was that ad. Now we're gonna close out. I think we'll close out. It's almost 30 minutes, so nothing wrong with that, but I don't know how much memory I have, so I'll show at least one manual so that we'll have done that. But this one is, I got this one on eBay. This is one for the Model 65, the first convertible. I don't know the year on it, but I'm assuming it's probably somewhere between 57 and 59, because that's when it was the machine was introduced in 57, and that was a one-piece handle, I believe, and then they went to a two-piece handle in 59, I think, if I recall, and the color was Heather Rose, I believe, on the hood and the vinyl bag, and it's dances out the deep down dirt, and the exclusive vibrating action gets the dirt that damages your rug. And this is the first one I just saw that has beats as it sweeps as it cleans on it. New Hoover convertible gives you extra power for attachments because of the switch underneath, and they go from I worked it out, the watts, a little bit ago. It would go from 3.5 amps for floor to 5.2 amps with the tool converter attached. I think I misspoke in the video last year and said it was a different amp, but that's what it is. Also, another interesting thing is that I didn't know of was, and someone had asked another collector person in a comment months ago, and I just saw the comment a little bit ago. Speaking of which, I should have said this in the very beginning, so I'm going to veer off for just a second and tell you that I need to really get back to the comments too, and I appreciate you all commenting and everything, but unfortunately, I don't know if it's my phone or app or what it is, but for some reason I can't see y'all's replies sometimes, and I have to get on the big computer to do that, and so it gets to be a little bit finicky, and that's why I have comments from, 5 months ago that I still haven't even seen them, and I don't know what's wrong with it. It's my studio app or something, so try to get to that some point too. But anyway, back to this is what I found this was interesting is showing with a ping pong ball how it was bouncing the rug, and that was pretty neat. Using a ping pong ball, we illustrate how the Hoover, but only the Hoover, gently vibrates the rug on a cushion of air to bring the deep down fiber cutting grit to the surface, and with the revolving brush to whisk it away. And let's see, 50% more power for your above floor cleaning. $60 back then. So anyway, that was for the first model. This is the one for the second model. Now I know this ad is from 59 because it has it back here. And so in this we have the Constellation is here as well, and model 66, and which is Garland green, and also the Hoover Pixie, which is basically a version of the dust step but with a hose, but made in USA. The old brown dust step was made in England, which I'll show that one day too, which I need to show that. It's the cleaner with automatic shift. They also said that both this and the Model 65 are the slim silhouette models. So, anyway, that's essentially most of those. So we'll go over here, and I'll go over a couple of these, I guess. I do have one that we'll start out with. I have a manual for Hoover Special Model 31. It'll be from about 1958. And that was their lower end, like, economy model convertible. The power switch is the only one. Well, I thought they did the power switch down there more than this time, but it's one of the only ones at the time to have the power switch on the yoke of the handle rather than a switch up on the handle. Only U.S. model that I know of to have that. I want to say there was commercial ones that may have, but I could be wrong. I just know that that one is the only residential one to have that. And there we have illustrations on the 4 nozzle and how to install belt, and then talking about lining the belt up and everything. And then it even tells the owner how to replace the brush strips, which I didn't know that they would show that either. That's pretty fascinating. And it's also one of the places where it talks about when the brush strips should be changed if it touches a card or paper or not. It says page 10, and then where to buy top C bags. When dirt reaches dotted line, if you let more dirt than this, it will not be efficient. Keep the cleaner operating at top efficiency by remembering the 3 B's: bag, belt, and brushes. And this one, I don't remember what year this one's older. Okay, so this would be one that you would probably get with a model 27, 28, 29 model probably. This comes from 1946, I think. Both of these were originals. Yeah, copyright 1945 through 47. Looks like they're showing a model 28 to me. That's what that looks like. And, yeah, Hoover service plan. Clean and lubricate motor, checking carbon brushes. Rug vibrator will be cleaned and lubricated. Examine bag. Does it still not work? It says please call our service line. Oh, this one even has a mothanizer too. So just like the AirWay did back then. Fumigate closet, fumigate furniture. It uses paracrystals. Turn on switch and run cord out the door and use machine in closet. After 2 hours, disconnect cord. Leave the closet for at least 72 hours. Pretty interesting. Do's and don'ts. Connect belt properly. Don't clean with worn brushes. Don't pick up hard or sharp objects. Damages the belt and fan. Don't run your cleaner over the cord. And don't jerk out of socket. Rough treatment would be hard on the cord connection. Don't forget to call the genuine Hoover service line. We'll do one of these manuals and then I'll do the book, and that'll be my last ones. I have a couple here, but it's been a long video, so now these two are not original print. I printed them. This is for some models from the early 70s, I want to say. Like my U4003 is from 1973 was when that was launched. This is a model U4007, I think, yeah. The U4007 or 4008, I don't remember. 4,007. So about from 73 or 74. The custom convertible. I thought this was interesting. I've never thought about this when I think about Type C bags. It never comes to my mind. But they're saying that the jet stream of air, it is right here. Jet stream air system for peak motor fan efficiency by forcing the heavier dirt to the bottom and the lighter dust to the top. So I actually never even thought about that. So pretty interesting. Weighs 17 pounds. So about the weight of a sanitaire, I guess. And that's about what they feel like. I don't know why, though. I feel like they're easier to push, though, to me. I don't know if it's because it's the sanitaire being 7 amps is so strong. But in any case, and then talking about how they now have the 4-position lever high adjustment. And they call it instant rug adjustment. And then over here we have Mall 4005. And this is the deluxe convertible. The other is the custom convertible, since that one had the headlight and the longer cord. And they both talk about edge cleaning. And I think before I move on to the book for my last bit of the video, I want to say, and I know you guys are so smart, you'll let me know. I wanted to say I thought that the first edge cleaning Hoover convertible was the 1076, but I'm not 100%. But that's what I remembered seeing in a video a while ago. Now the last part, I was so excited to get this. I don't know what year this is from. I'm assuming the 70s because that looks more like a model 719, or is it 714 convertible? That's in that blue color. And this kid's book is just, I love this. And showing all the Hoover appliances as well, which is great. So you've got the Hoover griddle, Hoover toaster, which I have one actually now, and I will show that one day. I really want to show that. That was a piece I really wanted to get. And Hoover percolator. Then the Hoover Lark right here, which if you're in, by the way, if you're in anywhere other than the U.S., the Lark was the Hooverette, was what it was elsewhere. And the Constellation and the Pixie right here. Dial-O-Matic right there, which looks, maybe this book's older than I thought, because that looks more like the first Dial-O-Matic. There's not that gear shift high adjustment in the front of this, so I'm assuming that's probably the first model. I don't remember what that model was, but I can see it in my head, the orange color one. And this is some sort of cleaner there. And then the Hoover floor washer, which was in that ad from 59, so I'm assuming maybe this book is from the 60s. Not sure, though. Yeah, it could be, and then that's a Model 70, but I'm not sure. And then the scrubber. And I think that's it. Let's see. No, it's not. There's the suitcase vac right there. Well, this one calls it the portable cleaner, but it's basically that. And then a Hoover washer, the spin dry washer. And Hoover iron and Hoover hair dryer. And I do have a Hoover iron I need to show one day as well. yeah, and the Hoover can opener at the end. So, and they're all listed as such right here. So the only one that confused me was they don't have whatever convertible model that was in the beginning. But it looks like if this is really from the 60s, then that would be a Model 70 for sure with that color. So anyway, guys, I appreciate your time so much. I'm sorry I didn't get into the rest because it already was an extremely long video. But anyway, I hope, like I said, the year's been good for you. And so hopefully I can get another chance to do a video without it being a whole year, you know. I'm so sorry about that. But I thank you all so much because it looks like I didn't lose anybody. I mean, even if I did, I'd always be here, you know, sharing what I want to. And because I enjoy knowing that there's people that enjoy it. So, well, you all take care, and I'll see you in the next one, whenever that will be. So, you all have a good one.